All right, in this example, we want to convert from radians to degrees. So our radians are going to be in terms of pi, and I'll give you one that's not in terms of pi so you can see how to do that too. But the first example is 6 pi over 5. Well, to figure out what that is in degrees, you would multiply, to solve for degrees, 180 times the radians and divide by pi. 180 times radians over pi. So you would multiply by 180 over pi, just the reciprocal of the last example. The last example was pi over 180. This example is 180 over pi. So we're going to do that. 6 pi over 5 times 180 over pi. It can all be done in the calculator if you wish, although I'll show you a shortcut after that, especially if you don't have a calculator as an option. Maybe you're going on a pre-calc and you'll have some calculator inactive problems. But 6 pi over 5 times fraction bar 180 over pi. Remember, you can type pi to get pi. Gives you 216 degrees. Now, I don't do all that work to get it. What I'll do is I'll look at those two pi's and I'll cancel them out. So if I have a pi in there and there, then they're going to go away. And really what I have is 6 times 180 over 5. Or 6 over 5 times 180, however you want to look at that. So it's just less to type in. You don't have to deal with the pi's. 6 times 5, or 6 times 180 divided by 5, or 6 divided by 5 times 180. However you want to do that. I'll show you it's the same thing. Or let's see, 6 times 180 divided by 5. It's all going to be 216. So however you reduce it or represent it, as long as your stuff is in the right numerator or denominator, you're going to be good. So 216 degrees. Okay, try this one on your own. Okay, so we want to do the same thing. We want to do negative pi over 6 times 180 over pi. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel those pi's out, make my calculation a little bit easier. You still want to keep the negative. There are negative degrees, which we'll talk about in the next lesson. But if it's negative, keep it negative. If it's positive, keep it positive. So negative, now if I cross the pi off, there's nothing there. You know that's going to be a 1 pi. So negative 1 over 6 times 180. Or you can think about it as negative 1 times 180 over 6. And that 1 doesn't really need to be there. So it's really negative 180 divided by 6. So if you want to do this without a calculator, let's just do 18 divided by 6 and put a 0 on after that. You can check it with the calculator, but it should be 30. So our answer is going to be negative 30 degrees. So I want to just do one more example. I know it's added on here, but let's say you have a radian as a decimal. So let's say your radian is, we'll say 3.2 radians. You can still convert it to a degrees. You just can't cross out a pi. So what you'll do is you'll take 3.2, you'll multiply that by 180 over pi, and you'll have to put all that in the calculator and round to, you know, 1 decimal place for a degree is fine. Most people round degrees to whole numbers anyway. So if I did that, if y'all want to put that in Desmos, see what you get, 3.2 times 180 over pi. Oops. Too many tabs, guys, too many tabs. All right, 3.2 times 180 over pi is going to be about 183.3 degrees, so a little bit over half a circle. Oops, just degree, not pi. So yeah, you can do a radian as a decimal too, but most of the time your radians are going to be in terms of pi. All right, so to recap, if it is a degree, multiply by pi over 180 to get it to a radian. If it's a radian, multiply by 180 over pi to get it to a degree. All right, thank you for watching.